Hi there, my name's John Stevens. I'm pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text, tied to an item from the Dollar Tree or the junk drawer, or the kids' room, or the garage. You know how we've been doing it. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your week with me in this way, and thank you for the love that you're sharing with your kids and your congregations and your families. You are rocking it. Thank you so much, and thank you for your partnership in this ministry. Thank you. If you have not liked or liked and subscribed to the YouTube channel and the Facebook page, if you've followed the Facebook page and followed the Facebook page and subscribed to the YouTube channel, if you haven't done that, would you please do that? I am trying to up the followers for a future project. And so if you would do that, that would be very helpful. So it gives me an idea of who all out there is watching. And I know if you're like me, I forget that stuff's important and I have to be reminded. So if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so this is for the third Sunday of Easter. And we are looking at the gospel lesson, which is one of my favorite gospel lessons. I tell you, this gospel lesson reminds me of my teenage kids, when they were teenagers. Now, most of them are now past being teenagers, but when they walked in and they walk into the kitchen, or if you're leading a teenage, you're leading a middle school group or high school group, you've heard these words. Have you got something to eat? And so I love that, this image and this picture of Jesus showing up to show that Jesus is more than just a ghost that passes through walls, but there's flesh and blood and all of that, and he's hungry. Do you have anything to eat? So one springboard is a picnic basket. Is a picnic basket that you can come in, and maybe you have some dishes from the kitchen at the church, or you've got some play dishes. You've got maybe a tea set, a play tea set. So you bring in the picnic basket, open it up, and set it out. And as you set out having a tea, we're having high tea, or we're having a picnic. We're here, and then talk about the story that Jesus shows up and in that and asks that question. Do you have anything to eat? And what does that one question ask? And so I love that. Another springboard for the larger sermon, or for the second sermon, is the idea that, and my squirrels are trying to get out of here as I almost lost the train of thought. The idea that when Jesus shows up, there's the disciples that are full of joy, but in their joy, they are still questioning. In their excitement, they still are wondering. And I love that. Reminds me of Mary Oliver's short poem that says, oh, what a time they have. It's a 3-line poem, and I love it. My body shakes with joy and with grief. Oh, what a time they have, these two, housed as they are in the same body. That first line, I might have mixed up a couple of words, but the two together as they dance together and as we struggle, the joy and grief, housed as they are in the same body. I shake with joy and I shake with grief. Oh, how they are, these two housed as they are in the same body. Anyway, the previous one, but I love it, and I have it printed in my office, and I'm not in my office. So anyway, that's another springboard. So picnic basket, and for the second sermon about Mary Oliver and that we can be both and. So there's that. The other is having either I say a chalkboard, but I have in my office, I have an old-timey chalkboard, and then I have also we have a whiteboard or just a piece of paper, and the idea is that you've got this, and you're going to write something on it, and you're going to sign it. And then you're just going to write it. You're like, I love Jesus. Because of course you do. I love Jesus. And then you say, so who wrote this? And they go, you did. Well, how do you know I did? Because I saw you. You witnessed me writing this down. You witnessed what happened. You witnessed what I did. And Jesus talks to the disciples and says, you can tell people about this because you witnessed these things. You are a witness. And helping the kids talk about what does it mean to be a witness? What does it mean that when the disciples saw Jesus and then Jesus sends them out into the world? And then how are we called to be a witness? By how we love, by how we treat our neighbors, by how we treat ourselves. That is a witness to the love that God has for you and I as we share with this into the entire world. So we've got the board, we've got the whiteboard, the chalkboard, we've got the picnic basket, and then a third springboard, which is along the same line of being a witness, is a letter that someone wrote to either the church. Maybe, let's say you have a 100-year anniversary and you've had old-timey pastors write a letter to the congregation about the church, and you can read that. Or if you have a letter that a relative sent you years ago, or maybe last week, and you read it, and it's about them telling you. I've got this diary from my family moving from California to Montana, and there's a diary, and each day tells about the trip. About they sold 2 horses for this, and they bought a horse here, and they stayed here, and it's a diary, but it's a witness, a testimony to what they did day after day as they moved along. And so that, again, kind of getting in that sense of that idea of being a witness. So, all right, couple of springboards that you can use there. I'm hoping one of them is useful for your own children's sermon. Thank you. Thank you for the witness that you are to your kids as you share love with your kids and your family and your congregation. You are rocking it. Thank you. And we will see you next week. Peace.